I just pray my love don't lie.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Back row.
We talking about practice, not a game, not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we talking about practice.
Back row.
Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere of and they wonder it's not me. It's beef, we strut a nigga block, that's chopped cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You reach, I teach him with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'm a go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They ring got the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, nigga, so let it go. Made for this, nigga, I eat bars and drink flows. Thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy, it's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early, this bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game, these niggas lame, they bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same, you want the easy pass, tell him change his lane. Shit, I've been through the fire, you can't stand the rain, take an aim. Tell him runner, he can try his best. Drive a car named after me, that's why I'm in the vet. Laugh at these niggas once again and I ain't break a sweat. Number 1 at everything I do, that's why I'm one west. The Lord is not the God of the dead, so when I die, coming back for my spot, so forever I'm top 3. Just tell him to watch this, janitor with the mop stick. You gon' need a defensive lineman to block this. On point when I bomb shit, 10 for 10 I do not miss. I'm barking with a full bulldog, it is not mixed. They can see that my mind's sick, I don't write, I find shit. I don't like it, then I'll switch. If I touch it, it's diamond. Tell a bitch that I'm God sent. It ain't because my kicks is built like 5'6", 5'7" is my bitch. Dangerous, high risk, I lose it, get another one. You think I'm talking about a girl, I'm talking about another gun. We here now, hey look, it is what it is now. We don't fuck with the house niggas, we burn the crib down. I'm ahead now, and I hope they can hear now. I don't care if you think it's it, nigga, I don't fear clowns. Silences make it sound like raindrop, that's a quiet storm. Get the job done in the view and get fired on. If you niggas standing for nothing, what you dying for? If you put real with real, that's how I was born. Walking this bitch ready for war, I'm in riot form. I want these niggas to see me flex, that's why I am armed. I shouldn't live in the crib, nigga, I should buy a farm to go through this shit so effortless. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Best believe that I'm top 3. Only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3.
I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the iron like stamps and I can't let no holder lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies is hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying. This shit light work. Think Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Suckle up and stay alert. Another cop just stretch the nigga. He a demon, this an exorcism. Watch I bless the nigga. You took that open blood, then you know I'm gon' get active with you. Fuck the opposition, I see vision. Let me paint the picture. Rappers claim they spit and I ain't listening. Is it fact if revenge was a woman, now I stroke that bitch like Jacob. So I war, we gon' run the summer. It's gon' be historical. Thought they making plays, made them niggas call the audible. Ask who run this shit, but that question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get them crackers, hell, should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do that, bet I be the last nigga standing. Do a life sentence for my niggas, pray you understand me. I might put a switch on his Glock and call it Young Pay. How you real triggering on them dots? You a bird feeder, claiming he a demon. What's a demon to a cold leader? When he saying something, I ain't hear him. This shit light. It ain't on who got the gun, it's on who gon' up that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game changer. Bring soldiers from the dead, just raised up the chain. 6 shots, I'ma look like Aaron Jones when I run it. Never bite the hand and feed you, you'll never get that hand back. He bitchin' about 10%, I don't wanna hear none of that. He dropping sword, fuck him, just make sure you get that cover back. Look around, he ain't with us, probably cause he never was. Now my chin like you with the angels for your brothers. Everybody wanna be Richard Porter, God kill him like Alpo. Play if he want, it's laying in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm a certified woman's ass nigga, I am not a toy. Hey, I with that hollow son, yeah, this the rim accord. Feel like Gullah Jack when I'm in Fayetteville, you feel your boy. Still about my bread, still I think that's all that I do. The way I get that boy lost, they gon' start to call him Elroy. Fuck his game, pop out on them demons like I'm Hellboy.
Live.
Come.
Right, clap it up. One sec. We are the I.S.U.P.K. under Command General YAHANNA. Since 1969, we've been teaching that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the real Jews, are the Israelites that are mentioned in the Bible, right? And this is the I.S.U.P.K. DC scripture breakdown class, right? Precinct officer, 5,000 warrior, holding it down. Tonight, Captain Mashot. We got my man Makwashia, 6,000 Makwashia in the building. We got Shapata Yak also in the building with us today. I mean, as we get ready to go into the class tonight, we're gonna go into a topic, man. Right now, everybody's confused, right? Everybody's confused as to what the black family should look like. You got different people, just chiming in and saying what, how to rebuild a black family. It's a very dangerous time whenever you've been broken down so much and everybody's trying to lead you in a different. I mean, people, and especially sisters, are being targeted. I'll tell you this. Give me 1 second. People have made so much money and gained so much fame off the carnality of sisters, right? This class is not going to be about that. It's going to be very much showing them compassion. You understand what I mean? And also checking brothers and getting them in line, because really, you are the heads of your household. You're the heads of the community. And it all starts with the brothers, like Command General YAHANNA always says, you fix the men, you'll fix the nation, right? If you look at online, social media today, I mean, social media has changed the way the world sees things. Everybody's an influencer. Everybody has an idea on how to do this and how to do that. You have people like, and right? People like Kevin Samuel, for example, I mean, who became famous off pointing out the flaws of the sisters. And you have people behind him. Of course, that brother passed away, but you have people after him who are continuing in this, in the sense that they know that it's an easy target, right? Let me tell you, if you put a microphone in his face, she's gonna say something stupid. You understand? You ask her a question, she's gonna say something that she doesn't think before she speaks. Women, like I always say, people often get offended, Shapat, when I say, but I always say women are like children. You understand what I mean? They speak from the stomach, meaning that they speak with emotions and so forth, right? I don't know if you remember. I'm gonna get you one second, Shapat. I don't know if you remember. Bill Cosby had a show with kids. The topic, please. The show was called "Kids Say the Darndest Things," right? Where he would invite a kid up on stage with him, and he'd give the child a microphone, and then he'd ask the child questions, and the child would say things that would make people laugh, right? And he had a whole show built off that. Well, that's the same thing people like Kevin Samuels did. A lot of the new people today who will have these shows, these, dating is always a hot topic for sisters, and, he just basically put microphones in front of sisters, inexperienced sisters, young sisters, carnal sisters' faces, and let them say some wild stuff. And even other sisters would look at it and be like, damn, did she really say that? She sounds crazy. But don't realize that they would say the same foolishness. No, I'm too out, right? They would say the same foolishness. So it's all basically victimizing these sisters, right? And on the other hand, brothers are being victimized. Why? Here's how brothers are being victimized in the same thing. Brothers are being taught to hate their sisters. That's what I mean. Brothers are being taught to not respect their sisters, not love their sisters, even to the point where they'd rather go overseas to look for a wife than look right in the ghetto where they were raised. So you can see the chaos that comes, right? And it's actually give me actually, this is a good one. Matthew. Let's go straight to the man they call Jesus Christ, YAHANNA in the Hebrew. This is what he had to say regarding blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Give me Matthew chapter 9, verse 36.
9 and 36.
This is a good one for this topic, because that's exactly what's happening nowadays, because people are just abusing both sides, and neither side is wise enough to know, hey, I need to seek counsel from men who know what they're talking about, not people who are just looking to, make you look like a fool, make you look undesirable to your own, right? So these people, they just make black women look undesirable to us, right? Not to us, but to their own kind. And then they make black men look weak, and you're weak if you got to go outside. You can't correct your own woman. You can't fix your own woman. You can't build up your own woman. You got to go to where, like when they call the passport bros, you got to go to Asia to where the Chinese man fixed his woman for you. You know what I mean? They're not, if you say they're submissive, they're not submissive because, they're submissive. They're submissive because they're raised in a place where their men keep them submissive. You understand what I mean? If you don't believe me, go find a Chinese woman who raised amongst you, and you'll see she's not submissive. You understand? Nobody's saying, you know what? Why do you think you have to be a passport bro where you have to travel internationally? Why you can't say, you know what? I'm black woman or Hispanic woman. I'm gonna date the East Indian over here. The East Indian is also out of control when next to you. You understand what I mean? So this is what you have to understand when it comes to this whole topic. Go ahead, call it and read it.
Khan, this is Matthew chapter 9 and 36. But when he saw the multitudes,
this is YAHANNA, the man they call Jesus Christ. You understand? When he saw the multitude, meaning what? When he saw the crowd of people, right? That was in his presence. Go ahead.
He was moved with compassion on them.
He was what?
Moved with compassion on them.
Christ saw a crowd of people. These are the crowd of people he was looking at are the Israelites. His people, his relatives, his family, his bloodline, right? He saw them and he was moved with compassion. Why was he moved with compassion when he saw these black men, black women, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, Native American Indian men and women. Why was he moved with compassion? Go ahead.
Because they fainted.
Because they what?
They fainted.
They were weak. You understand? They were weak. They fainted. Go ahead.
And were scattered abroad.
And were what?
Scattered abroad.
We're scattered abroad today, brother. We're scattered abroad today, right? In different parts, from the Caribbean islands to the Americas to you name it. Right? Go ahead.
As sheep having no shepherd.
As what?
As sheep having no shepherd.
That part is important. You understand? As sheep having no shepherd. What's the danger of sheep having no shepherd? Shapat.
They for one could get lost, and for two, they could be attacked. They have protection.
Exactly. That's it right there. That's what I mean. They could get lost, and they have no protection. Let me tell you something, man. Social media is like a wolf. All the narratives being painted, all the ideologies. There's so many new terms now. HR turnaround is a new term. And what I find interesting about these terms, I'm gonna give you a few of those terms. High value man. Leftover woman. There's a couple of them that piss me off even when I hear it. Oh, here's one. Have you heard about this one? Emotional intelligence. What the hell does that mean? And the funny thing about those things, those terms, right? And I know the people online are like, yeah, I know what that means. How come you don't know what that means? Let me tell you, you don't know what that means. You know why? Because the people who use that term, like for example, let's take emotional intelligence, right? The people who use that term mostly are women, right? Do this project. Take different women, 10 women. Ask them what that means, and you get 10 different answers. So the danger with that, and if you understand communication, if there's no clear definition of it, right? Shapat, if there's no clear definition of a term or a phrase or a word, then we're never having the same conversation.
Right.
Because if your definition of emotional intelligence is different from mine, we're not having the same conversation because we're talking about two different things. Always. Go ahead, Shapat.
To bring in mind all the denominations of the Christian churches, because if you ask them what certain things mean, they all have a different explanation for it. So they all have different denominations. Exactly.
That's what I mean? But these are all terms and rhetorics and agendas all over social media. Right? There are genuine people who want Shabbat, turn that light on. This one's off. It's not working. So you put it there for decoration. So who this one? I don't need. I can't see. What? So what happens is when that happens is nobody's ever having the same conversation basically. You understand what I mean? So who? Class, you good? Read for me one more time. Also, let me know if there's any questions online, all right?
Come. The book of Matthew, chapter 9, verse 36. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them. Moved with compassion on them.
Moved with compassion on the multitude. Go ahead.
Because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd.
Sheep having no shepherd. And like you said, when sheep have no shepherd, you know what happens then? Right? And what you find now is blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, men and women being lost in different ideologies. I mean, and you have people who have no authority to teach anything, teaching them, and they're being led astray. Right. And you have brothers now basically calling sisters, your sister, leftover woman. You know where they got that term leftover woman from? That term leftover woman comes from in China, because of the decisions they've made in the past, where they were having too many kids, so then they started only wanting boys and so forth. They've completely disconnected themselves from the family aspect of life, right? So now they're trying to get back to it, and their goal is to marry the young men, trying to get the young men back into marrying. But the thing is this: they want to marry young, right? And you don't think it's crazy. Any woman 25 or older is looked at as a leftover woman, meaning once you're 25, you're not valued. You understand? You're not valued, and we bring that to our communities. Now, here's the difference. In our communities, we're poor. We're broken, don't have a nation. China has a system, a nation to care for these people. We don't. So what happens to our system?
They get lost and they're not protected.
They're lost, not protected. And they start the hostileness. Understand what you call ratchet, and they used to call it ratchet. What they call it, ghetto. You understand what I mean? Because now they're like what? Sheep without a shepherd. What happened to sheep without a shepherd? They behave as sheep without a shepherd, meaning that wherever the food is, that's where they go. They're just roaming around and looking for opportunity. They become opportunists. You understand what I mean? So, and that's basically what happens. Any questions around get too deep in the topic?
No questions just yet.
All right. So give me the scripture. Give me a scripture. Which is a prophet. You know that scripture?
Kind, sir. I do, sir.
Because this is what they should be doing. Right, this is what they should do. So instead of going to the Kevin Samuels and all these other people who just popped up on the scene and all of a sudden know everything on how to fix black people, this is what they should be doing. You got it? No, I didn't see one. Maybe this? No. But let's focus on the thing, right?
Guys, you said seer.
Yep. Got it.
Have a few in there. It's not the one.
You want the seer? In First Samuel, chapter 9, right?
9 and 11.
You got 9, verse 9.
9 and 9.
Right. So this is the first thing you got to do, right? If you're looking to fix the black community, right? You don't go online, you don't go on social media, you don't join any battles amongst other people, right? You understand what I mean? And let me tell you something else. Women, specifically black women, are starting to regret that whole feminist movement. That feminist movement was so destructive to the black community. You understand what I mean? Because you're already at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to socially, and you want to go and join some. I'll never forget, right? I was at in Virginia, Fashion Center Mall, and there was a whole protest going on right near the Pentagon, and I always tell people the story because I never forget it. And there was it was about women's right and women's equal pay, right? So there was this white woman. So I asked her, and they had all these T-shirts to identify. They had the T-shirts, and it's also says "VAL." They had T-shirts with vaginas on it, men and women, to show they're supporting this cause, right? So I asked her, "What's this cause about?" So she started breaking it down to me, and she told me, she gave me an example. She said, "So for example, my colleague at work, which is a male, makes about $28,000 more than me. I'm making $130,000. he's making 160-something thousand, 150-something thousand, and it's not fair because we do the same job. When she said that, I looked at all the black women in the crowd, and I felt sorry for them. You know what I mean? Because they're the loudest in the crowd, they're the number one in the front marching. And I'm saying, you marching her for equal rights to men, equal to her. Oh, you're not equal to her. Financially, you're not equal to her. Her children are not in prisons at the rate that your children are in prison.
Right.
But you are protesting with her side by side like you guys are on the same page. If she cries, black men die.
Right.
But you always, not black men, if she cries, your children die. You understand what I mean? But you are marching with her. You're just a recruit for her agenda. You understand? Because after the protest, she goes home to her mansion and you go back to the ghetto amongst your people. Why? Because you're sheep without a shepherd, and your looks at you and says, "Hey, come join our." And we have to snap away from that, man. We have to learn whose side should we stand on when fighting for justice. That's what I mean. And I'm gonna give you another one too. Another term they use now on Shabbat and on social media. You hear when in base, the women will say against the patriarchy. Who's the enemy? The patriarchy. So a black woman is gonna look at you and fight against you, and you ask her, why is she fighting? Well, we're battling the patriarchy. So are black people the black men the patriarchy? Because they fit you in the West of them. You understand? So you're oppressing them. When in reality, you are their brother. You are poor and you are being oppressed by the devil.
Right.
You understand? The oppressor. I mean, but now they want to make it look like, you know, it's women over men. I'm gonna give you another one. A very popular topic is which comes first, your race. These are all the rhetorics out on social media. Are you a woman first, or are you black first? Are you a man first, or are you black first? Black man, black woman don't fight, and woman, American man, woman do not for them. This is their battle. You understand? Because they're at the end of their kingdom and it's about to collapse. Right. So we have no business fighting in their battles. Right. Give me what I asked for, please.
Book of 1 Samuel, chapter 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel.
This is what, if you want to know, I mean, how to fix your people, what age should you, you know, all the laws around marriage, what are the roles in the household for the man and the woman? You know, this is what they used to do back in the days, right? Before time, go ahead.
Before time, in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, "Come and let us go to the seer."
So before this time, before time meaning a long time ago. Go to God. Understand? Because you can still inquire of God, and inquiring of God does not mean sitting at the edge of your bed and, you know, bowing your head and praying. That you're not inquiring of God. You understand what I mean? There's a formula for asking God questions. You understand what I mean? Read again. This is how they used to do it.
So before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, "Come and let us go to the sea."
Before time, when he wanted to inquire of God, what does it mean to inquire of God? To know what God thinks about this. To know what to do. This is how, and it says, this is how he will speak. It says, read that part again.
Come. Thus he spake.
Thus he spake, meaning that if you want to know about what God thinks about a matter, if you want to know what God thinks about going outside the country, becoming a passport bro to go marry heathens instead of your sister, he spake. Before he made a move, he said this. Go ahead.
And let us go to the seer.
Come and let us go to the seer. Go ahead.
For He that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer.
He that is now called a prophet, meaning you call this brother a prophet now, back then they used to call him a seer. You understand what I mean? He would go and inquire of the seer or the prophet. That's our obligation. You understand what I mean? And he takes so much off his shoulders. Everybody's trying to find the prophets of the Lord, and they'll give you the answer. You don't have to go back and forth with people online about if you're valuable or not. You understand? These sisters, like everybody's making fun of these poor sisters online because they're saying the craziest thing. You understand what I mean? But the frustration comes from you are demeaning them. You're making them feel like they're not valuable. They're worthless. You understand? It's because this society, and this society, yeah, they are. They're absolutely worthless. And this society, guess what? Men are worthless. Black men are worthless also. Black men and black women are both worthless in this society. That's only if you live by the rules of the society, though. You understand what I mean? That if you live by the rules of the society, you submit yourself to the society, prepare to be garbage. Prepare to be the next person gunned down by the police and people screaming no justice, no peace. Prepare to be the next woman thrown away in the streets. You understand what I mean? Used and abused. Prepare to be that when you submit yourself to this society. Get me the scripture, get out of her. You understand what I mean? That's what we need. Because everybody's submitting to the society and find out in society they're not valued. What blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are finding and just that they are slaves. You know what I mean? Since when did slaves have value? Since when were slaves appreciated? Since when were slaves loved? Since when were they loved by the slave master? Or since when did they love each other? You can't, because you're a slave. You've been bred to know that you have no value. But this is what you have to do is to escape that. You know what I mean? This is what you have to do. Actually, before you give me the whole that scripture, give me John chapter 8, verse 32. This is the first thing you have to understand before we even get there. John 8:32. Escape, the confusion of, black men don't love black women don't love black men. We rather go overseas to look for a wife. They find being alone. They could struggle all on their own. What's the term? I could do that all by myself. If you want to escape all those narratives, this is the first thing you have to do. Of course, you have to seek the seer or the prophet, but this is the first thing he's going to do for you. Read.
The book of John, chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth.
And what?
And ye shall know the truth.
First thing you have to do is go see that prophet. And what he's going to give you, he's going to give you the truth. And this is how powerful the truth is. Read.
And the truth shall make you free.
What?
Shall make you free.
The truth will make you free. You understand what I mean? I know a lot of black women feel like they're in prison. I mean, I watched some of their videos. I did some research. I've been doing some research on this, obviously, right? And I watched some of their videos on how alone they feel. You have sisters with all types of master's degrees, and they followed America, did everything America said to do. You understand? They set aside. I actually knew this sister personally. She told me she set aside a family. She set aside children. She said, you know what? I'm going to go for my degrees. She has masters and doctorates and all types of degrees on her wall. And she feels empty, according to her words. Mm-hmm. She feels unaccomplished because she thought that what they said, what America said, was success. And she says one time because she has all this money, she supports the family, right? Which is good. One time she took her brother out and watched him. Well, they went out together. Watched him, his wife, and his kids just playing, and he just sent her into massive depression. Into massive depression because she chased what America. She became one of them sheep that thought she was a wolf. You understand? They try to make you live a lifestyle that is not your own. One you're not designed to live. And at the end, by the time you realize it's too late.
Right.
You understand? I'll give you another one. Even the people, the white women in their movements, these feminists, they starting to give pushback now and saying, you know what? We've been misled. We don't want to be independent no more. We don't want to be strong no more. Let me tell you something about being independent and strong and a provider. It's not something you can switch on and off.
Right.
If you're going to stand on it, stand on it. You know what I mean? Stand on it. They don't want to know more. They want to. Here's another rhetoric that's coming up on social media now. I'm on my soft girl era. I don't know if y'all heard that one yet. You heard that one yet, sis? I'm in my soft girl era. You heard that one? I'm in my soft girl era. Meaning what? I'm not masculine no more. I want to be a princess. I want to be pampered. It's coming up. I'm telling you, y'all gotta keep with the time. I'm ahead of y'all on social media now. I'm usually behind. Soft girl era is a thing now. Because they're starting to realize, like, look, we are oppressing ourselves and we're getting nothing in return. You understand? We're doing all this in America and there's no reward at the end. The reward is, here's your diploma. You put it on the wall, you're making $100,000 a year and your house is empty. Go ahead, Shapap.
It just kind of brings into mind the precept where the Lord
said, I will sever you from the other people. You know what I mean? The Lord, by what's going on with our sisters, is making them be feminine.
Yeah. So what happens in society is this. You can only build on a weak foundation for so long before the whole thing collapses. And when it collapses, guess what? We're back on the ground level. That's how on the ground, and you start to realize, okay, I built for what was trying to do. I mean, and the sad thing is, I mean, unless you get the truth, you'll never be free from it. You're just gonna be, and we read the Bible, right? And the entire Bible is full of what? Examples. And the truth is, a lot of brothers and sisters are just gonna be examples in this life. Examples of what not to do. You pull the records and you laugh. Your children will laugh when you read the stories of strong, independent women who don't need a man. They'll laugh because when the calamity comes, praying, if there's any strong, independent women over there right now. Ask them if there's any strong, independent women who don't need a man. There's no feminist movements. There's nothing. You understand what I mean? Why? Because now we're back at rock bottom now. Same things that happen in America. Go ahead, Bakwash.
It's like, if I could, when the war broke out, Putin allowed women and children and old men to leave the country before the war started. No, I don't think there was very many of them say this is an equal society, so I'm gonna stay right here and fight this war.
Nobody was offended. Now, if you were to say, you know what, when it comes to the topic of who is first, the child or the husband, there's opinions there, right? There was no opinions on should the women leave. They got their hell up out of there. You understand? And the same thing is happening here in America. And what you need is the truth. Why? The truth will set you free, man. The truth will protect you from all the narratives that they try to put on women, that they try to put on sisters. You know what it is to tell a sister, well, if you're not married by a certain age, you're worthless. You're not, you are a leftover woman. Brother, be very careful what we say here. We're going to put a scripture afterwards that every word will be judged. That's in the Bible. Everything that comes out your goddamn mouth, man. Because even though they're being judged, the sisters and brothers are being judged, they are God's people, You understand what I mean? Think about it this way. When a father is disciplining his children, you can't jump in and do just anything to that child because you agree with the father or you agree that the child was bad. That don't mean you can come in and drop kick the child in the chest. You stay out of it when he's disciplining his kids. You understand? Unless you are a prophet sent to give a message to the kids. Go ahead, Shapat.
Slug, I was gonna say with that Ukraine when they was everybody decided to evacuate, it was one narrative. They wasn't letting the blacks and the Latinos leave with everybody else. They had to go last at home.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's normal. You understand what I mean? Because you are the slaves on the earth. You understand? If you go in there to make sure that, to feed the people, to serve the people amongst you. I mean, and that's just how it is because of our position, right? But like I said, I mean, the social media is definitely, people made names of women being simple. You understand? I mean, there was one woman, they just let her talk about what she's looking for in a man, and she had 3 different. It's circling all over the place. She has 3 different kids by 3 different guys, right? And they asked her, what's her criteria? Well, I need a man who makes over $100K a year, who has no kids. You know what I mean? And they just let her talk so she could look stupid. Let me tell you something. She's a child. That's why I was bringing up the show Bill Cosby had on TV. Kids say the darndest things. The whole point was to put the microphone in front of the kids so they can say something that's ridiculous. And everybody laugh. Isn't he so cute? You know what I mean? Now, when you put the microphone in front of these women's mouths, let me tell you, sisters, if anybody comes to you, here's the key to get out of that and not making no stupid comments. No matter how smart you think you are, if somebody comes to you and they put a microphone and ask you a question, the wise answer was, well, when you see my husband, ask him that question. It sounds stupid, right? I'm gonna give you this. It sounds stupid, like, oh, that's not fair. She should be able to express herself. Right now, they're condemning you, making you look. If you had charges come up against you in court, would you speak without your lawyer there? Is it because you're not intelligent enough? Is it because you didn't know what happened? No, you know everything that happened, but you're not gonna say a word unless your lawyer is there. Why? Because your lawyer is not gonna be emotional and is gonna represent you correctly. You understand what I mean? Your lawyer's gonna represent you correctly, the water. You understand what I mean? And it has to be the same with sisters. Now, if you don't have a husband, bring your brother. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody put a camera in front of your face to shame you or to make you say something stupid, to belittle you, and then they're getting views off you, because that's the aim. They're getting their pages are monetized, and the more views they get, the more money they get. And they know a woman is prideful, and she's gonna always want the best for herself, and she's gonna always think of herself as highly. One of the popular questions they do is they go to a sister, they say, rate yourself from 1 to 10. And then the world's watching you. And then you say 10, and they laugh at you. Did she really say she's a 10? This is high, by the way. On that topic, what's your rating? You know who decides your rating? Your husband.
Right.
You understand? If you want to be a 10, here's how you become a 10. Find a man who sees you as a 10 and maintain that 10. Yes, I mean? Maintain that 10. Meaning what? No matter what happens, you're 10. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. They say one of the things that disqualifies women or reduces women's value is she has kids. So she can't be a 10. She can't be a 8. She has kids. So now she's a 3. You know who she's a 10 to? Who?
The children's father.
The men who gave her the children.
Right.
Because he's not giving that up for, anything. That's who she's a 10 to. So at that point, when they come and ask you, what do you rate yourself? You tell them, mind your goddamn business. Well, raise myself. You go ask my husband what he rates me.
Right.
And get him the hell about your face, man. Go ahead, Shapat.
Slocky, it's heavy how you said it, because when I be watching Facebook, like one in particular, is one guy, he walks around and he asks women, he'll spell something for women. He'll spell 2 words and ask them, what does that spell? And he'll say, what does FAT and HER spell? And they'll be like, fat her. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't go to any men. He only goes to women.
Yeah. You understand? Because guess why? Why are they doing that? And I'm gonna give you a story. I was telling you the story earlier. There was a sister who had invited me to a group they have, and the question was about multiple wives. You understand? She wanted our insight on it because they already had their viewpoint, but they want to hear outsider insight, somebody who does believe that multiple wives is lawful. And we get into it tonight on the topic of multiple wives. And she sent me the link. I didn't want to do it. I was at the gym. I was, Kazaki saying, get in the gym it was my day off. I said, you know what? Let me go to the gym. I don't even go to the gym like that, right? Sister's messaging me. Yo, jump on this thing. I'm like, I'm gonna send you the link for class tonight. Get in class, we'll answer the question. She's like, no, get in. She said the right word. She said, I know you might be a little intimidated. She said those words, brother. I said, you know what? Pack it up. Gym is over. Let's do it. I jump on the thing, and there's a brother talking, and he's the one who is teaching them that you can't have multiple wives. I introduced myself on there. The first thing he does is lets me know, oh, by the way, I'm not saying it's unlawful. He starts cleaning it up. Everything he taught them, he can't say to me. You understand why? Women are gullible. You understand? Women are gullible. Women will believe things. Women like to hear things, like to hear promises. Why do you think even when you talk to a woman, you know what you call it? Game. I'm gaming her up. I have game. You understand me? Because it's a game. You're flattering her. You're getting her to agree with you. Right? And she made another popular term is she's playing a hard get. No matter how hard she's playing to get, the wolf knows he could get her. Even when she generally don't. A lot of women say, I don't know how I ended up with him. I didn't even like him at first. Understand me? But he played the game. He got game. You understand me? And this has. Go ahead, Bakwash.
Sorry, if I could. We was at camp, and his brother came up to the table, and I was at the table, and he was talking about how, he was looking for y'all. What camp were y'all in? Are y'all, the purple ones? It was like, nah, we ain't affiliated with them. We the original. And he's like, well, I want to join a camp, but I don't agree with y'all, having multiple women and whatnot. And he was saying, the other ones, they think the way I think. I'm like, so good, join them, right? And he was saying, well, that's not lawful. He's like, I know it was back in the Old Testament. He started naming some people that had multiple wives. And I was like, so were they sinning? He was like, no, but we ain't living in that time right now. So I'm like, okay, if you could do something, if it was lawful back then, I named some things that he could do that you could do lawful back then. I'm like, is it unlawful to do it now? Or if it was unlawful back then, would it be lawful now? And he just like looked dumbfounded, like, I don't agree with having more. I'm like, okay, why are you worried about someone else's woman? Just have your one and just go about your business.
And I'm gonna tell you this, man. And I told him that on that call. We're not telling nobody to go and get multiple wives. Right. First of all, you're gonna make a mess because you have no guidance. You have no shepherd. You're a sheep without a shepherd. So you're gonna go and get multiple women and make a fool out yourself and a fool out of them. You understand me? And you're gonna show you're gonna be proof as to why a man should not have multiple wives. Not because it's unlawful, but because you're just an idiot. You understand me? Now we don't tell brothers what to do because if it's not unlawful, I can't tell you what to do. But a lot of these people, these fake Israelite groups, what they do is this, and actually seen like when I was first coming to the school. Well, I wasn't coming to school yet, but I was watching Israelites. You understand what I mean? I seen a video of Command YAHANNA. After that, I didn't know the difference. I just searched Hebrew Israelites. Whoever popped up, I'm watching. Mm-hmm. Right? And some fake group popped up and they was talking about multiple wives. And he said this verbatim. I never forgot this because I didn't understand it. He said, multiple wives is not unlawful, but we don't do it here. It kind of bugged me out. Like, if it's not unlawful, why are you putting this strand in? You understand me? If God is not saying it's wrong, who are you to say we don't do it here? Mm-hmm. So it always bugged me out that he said that's on a lot of people who don't believe in multiple wives, and it's because they can't have them, or maybe they don't have no desire for them. or my opinion. It's not, it's not fact, my opinion. They just hate black people. They hate black men, and they hate to see you, in any type of excellency. That's like that. That's like have you ever seen the movie The Django when he showed up the horse and he was that NIG on the nag? Who does he think he is? Why is he on the nag? Who does he think he is? And he just bugged him out. You understand what I mean? Because I'm gonna tell you this. The Amish have multiple wives, right? Amish have multiple wives. Who comes up against them? Who tells them who's that Amish man on the nag? You understand? Because they say, what they say? Oh, that's their culture. Nobody pulls no scriptures on them and say, hey, you should not do this. You should not do that. They have free reign. And guess what? Christians will tell you this. They're going to heaven. The Amish are not going to hell. They're not doing nothing wrong. But you even look at another woman, you're going to hell. You cheating. Have you ever seen the word cheater in the Bible? As much as that's the number one sin in the black community, you know that, right? The number sin in the black community. You're cheating. He's a cheater. You'll have a woman full out attacking a man. The police, I've seen this. Police are separating them. What's going on? He's a cheater. I'm attacking him because he is a cheater. Go ahead, Shapat. Salaki. Let's Shapat go first.
I'm about to say, most unlearned blacks and Latinos, they look at cheating as fornication. That's sex before marriage, or sex on life. They just look at fornication. They really don't know what it is.
The funny part is none of them will marry even with the man, according to what this idea of marriage is. You understand? But you get another woman, you are a cheater. Go ahead, Bukwash.
I was watching a documentary on Lawrence Taylor, the football player, and the things that this dude was doing was just ridiculous. It was outrageous. He would, he wound up getting divorced and whatnot, and he split when his kids would come and visit him. He would pick them up from the airport, leave them some money, say, "I'll be back, in a few days to take you back to the airport to go back to your mama," right? Mm-hmm. And when they asked his ex-wife, what was the issue about, what was going on in marriage, all the drug use, all the the late nights, all the alcoholism, all that went out, and it was all about all the women.
That's the problem. You understand what I mean? And let me tell you this. Well, I'm not gonna get off topic. Give me Proverbs. Right? Let's look at what the family structure should be. Give me Proverbs chapter 18, verse 12. Well, actually, before we go there, give me Genesis, where the Lord saw Adam was alone. Give me that first. You understand? This is going to give you, if you ever wonder what role is in life, sis, brothers, if you ever wonder what role your wife should have in life, this is not a role. When God gives you a role, it's not one to be ashamed of. And that's the first thing that happens in America, in this evil place, is they shame the roles that God gave us as if it's not important. You understand? They make you feel like, if you are a wife, if you're a woman, if you're this is the only place. Can you imagine how much more of the land of the devil could this be? There's a place where a woman is ashamed to be a woman and a man is ashamed to be a man.
Right.
A woman hates the fact that she could give children, born children. You know what I mean? A woman hates the fact that she is under her husband, where she's protected. Right? Shapat, you got it?
Come, I do have it. Slot, I had a precept on somebody hating against multiple wives.
We'll get to it.
Hold on to it.
I got Genesis 18. Just like Genesis 2 and 18. And the Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him."
Well, read one verse.
Verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
Right. Go ahead.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof.
Skip down to the verse.
This is Genesis 2 and 18.
This is the Lord examining Adam. You understand what I mean? Examining Adam, looking at Adam and say, okay, I've chosen him to be my, special people, right? I've chosen him, but something's missing. Understand? He's out here, doing whatever the hell he wants, right? Imagine your son just roaming around the house. Something's missing, right? Go ahead.
And the Lord God